Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another week of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. I am your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant and great believer in the body's ability to heal itself through right living and through the use of pleasure as a barometer for where we are in our health. There are many different ways to increase your libido. And for anybody who's not sure what libido means, libido is your sexual desire and your sexual appetite. And everybody has a different appetite. Not everybody is the same. But if your libido is lagging, then, specifically for you, then you have to take a look at why that is. Now, in this world of better living through pharmaceuticals, many would suggest using sexual enhancement pills, but I'm not one of them. I'm more of a holistic naturalist. If your libido is lagging, there are far better and more natural ways to increase pleasure, overcome psychological impotence, and to circumvent inhibited sexual desire than drugs. And the natural alternatives won't have any unpleasant side effects. First, let's start by understanding that we humans are meant for pleasure. The pleasure center is in your mind. Sexual dysfunction or lagging libido is often caused by bad habits. If your habits are hurting your libido, take a look at them and make some better choices. You have to ask yourself, number one, are you eating a clean diet, or are you the victim of persuasive and misleading advertisement and poor nutrition? Those advertisers who show all that fast food would have you believe that somehow it's cool and it's definitely enough to keep your engine going. But it's not. It's fake food. And if you don't take the time to actually eat new and good nutrition, your body will not have the energy that it needs to keep you burning at an efficient level. You'll be burning crap, okay? So think about that. Do you want to burn high quality fuel, or do you want to burn something that gives you very, very little for what you are paying for it? Second, and this is really important, are you getting enough sleep? Or has the modern world of lights and night totally disrupted your rhythms with the circadian rhythms of night and day? Now, believe it or not, we are part of nature. We have been part of this cycle of day and night since we crawled out of the sea. Now, recently in our history, about maybe 100, 120 years ago, whatever, light bulb was invented. And that might be excellent for Congress, or for markets and for commerce, but it is not good for the human body. The human body actually rebuilds itself during certain parts of the rhythms of the night. The circadian rhythms, we're part of that. If we choose to ignore it and work the ridiculous hours, or stay up the ridiculous hours, or waste the ridiculous hours doing God knows what, then our body is going to pay for it. And one of the first things to go is your libido. And then, do you take time to actually take care of your body, other than just feeding it and bathing it? Do you take time to rejuvenate it so it can repair itself stronger and more resilient each day? Or do you rely on over-the-counter drugs or prescription drugs to repair what you've neglected? The body needs to rebuild itself. It does that through the paces that you put it through. If you ask something from it as far as strengthening is concerned, it will respond by staying strong. But in this very, very cushy life, we are not asked to do anything to be strong. So muscle starts to wash away and the bones start to get thinner. And then there's a cascade of effects that happen from bones getting thinner and muscles losing muscle and how it disrupts your blood. You don't want to go through all that. I'm just letting you know that you actually have to pay attention to the body and give it what it needs. And I hate to say it, but it needs movement. It needs walking. It needs strength training. It needs that because for the most part, you don't need to do any of that to survive, but your body needs it for it to survive, for it to stay strong. And then do you take time to just relax and be? I know a lot of people think that relaxing in front of a television set is relaxing. It's really not. All the things that you are watching, whether they're sports events or crime dramas or anything that gets your blood pressure up, is not relaxing. And even though your conscious mind understands that nobody's shooting at you, even though somebody's being shot, nobody's shooting at you, your subconscious mind, not so much. Your subconscious mind feels the threat. And so it pumps up all that cortisol and you put yourself in a fight or flight position once again. Now we are living in a fight or flight life here. And so if you are constantly revved up, even when you're relaxing, revved up, it is very, very hard for you to build up any kind of interest in spending time to make love. It takes effort and time and energy to make love. And if you've spent it all because on things that require mental energy and fear and aggravation, because all of those emotions require energy, you got nothing left. There's nothing left in the tank. Human sexuality today, in today's civilized society, cannot even be remotely compared to the exquisite pleasure that was enjoyed in Europe and in the recent past, or in the pleasures of ancient societies such as ancient Greece and ancient India. Our ancestors understood that arousal, intensity, and extended pleasure took time, not just the 10 minutes that so many couples allocate for foreplay today. We may not have the 4 hours of foreplay suggested in the Kama Sutra, but it's important to keep sensual stimulation, sensual thought, and sensual techniques as a part of every romantic relationship. To cast these essentials aside is to deny our pleasure that we were born to enjoy. Now, if you want to increase libido, you'll need sustained energy, and that comes from proper rest and proper nutrition. In today's world of burning the candle at both ends, there's little energy left for adult play. So essential time, downtime, clean nutrition. Nice if you can get a monthly body massage from a loved one to push out the tension and reinvigorate the body. The body needs to have its downtime. It needs to have the time where it releases the stress from it. And if you're living most of your life in a stress state of fight or flight, even if you have access to marital aids, you're not going to be able to get as excited, and your libido will definitely take a hit for your state of fight or flight all the time. In other words, if you're stressed, as if you're running from a saber-toothed tiger, the last thing on your mind is making love. You have to bring yourself down. You have to let all that tension go. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's easier said than done. I know that getting a massage can take time. And if you don't have that time, it also could be an expense if you have to go to a massage therapist, although I think it's definitely worth every penny. But one of the things that I like to do as a quick fix is take a bath. And this is Treasures of the Sea. It's by Kama Sutra. It is a phenomenal product. You just take 1 or 2 scoops, put it in the bathtub water, and the water becomes the blue of the crystals. It's like you're sitting in your own private lagoon. It smells like heaven. It relaxes your muscles. It's a little bit of heaven on earth. And I recommend it highly before making love, because all the tensions of the day, all the stresses of the day will melt out in that tub, and then you'll have so much more energy for each other. A lot of people think that taking a bath is a frivolous waste of time, especially in a world of deadlines and rushing from one task to another. Bathing should not be ignored as a viable way to reconnect with your essence. And if you can bathe together, all the better. We, like the planet that we live on, are 70% water. Soaking in a tub will help you to relax, to imagine, to fantasize, and encourage sensual thoughts as your hands slide all over every inch of your body. To further inspire your libido, maybe you'll light some candle. Lavender is a very relaxing scent, just for the ambiance, just for the sensual scent, and for the increase of libido. Keep the candle burning, use a little bit of wax, or just pat yourselves dry and relax in each other's arms without any expectation. You'll be very surprised how aroused you will get by letting the stress go. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. Again, I'm your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant, author, and soon to be life coach at Brave Thinking Institute. Join me again next week for another episode of Your Pleasure. Please share this page with like-minded friends if you liked it. Because I talk about sensuality and sexuality, I am not allowed to boost my page because of the discussion of sensuality. So if you know other like-minded individuals who could appreciate this message, please share these pages and subscribe to them. Thanks so much. Don't forget to do your Kegels. Namaste, everybody. Love you all. Have a great night. Bye for now. See you next week.